Hi everybody, welcome to today's video. So today I'm streaming to you about the autumn equinox and magic that you can do during the autumn equinox. So this night and the next full moon, these are two very powerful astrological times. So what you could have achieved in other times with maybe 5, 6, 7 rituals, during these two nights you can achieve it with just one ritual, and it will work very very quickly. So whatever you are doing tonight and in the next full moon, on that night, it's all very very powerful. I will give you tantric remedies that you can do, and it will work very quickly. So remember, share it with other people and be a blessing to them. So first up, let's look at any issue regarding either depression or regarding a lot of negative energies. If you can't attract quality people, the type of people that you want to attract to you, and the type of energies that you want that can be beneficial for you, you need to do the following ritual. So this is the only ritual that requires something that maybe you will not have at home, right? So for this ritual you would need a piece of two pieces of camphor. Right now, this is how camphor looks. In some countries it comes in a square, others it comes in in like this circle. It doesn't matter what size you choose, but it needs to be two whole unbroken pieces, right? You need to take this and then hold it in your hands and charge it with your intention that any negativity coming towards you, any negativity that is in you, while you are sleeping, it needs to get drawn out and it needs to be removed. And if there's any negativity in your home, it also needs to be destroyed, particularly in your bedroom, because that's where you're releasing a lot of your energies. Afterwards, you need to put it in a heat proof dish. I'm using a metal dish. My suggestion is that you don't use metal unless you have something very 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 strong and heat proof like a brick to put this on. So this metal will become red hot. Camphor does burn at a very high heat and it does melt, especially if you put it in something metal, so the flame will also become quite high. So you could put it even on an entire brick or in like a ceramic dish. I don't think an ashtray will be able to hold that degree of heat. It will make a thick smoke in the room, so you need to have your windows open. After that, you can let the room air out and close the windows before you sleep. State your prayer again to whichever divine being or divinity, or even to your inner self, that whatever negativity there is in the home, it gets destroyed or it doesn't affect you anymore, and anything that is wrong in your energy field, it also gets destroyed. If you start doing this and you continue for 11 days, or even if you do it once off from any of these two full moons, it's very 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 powerful. So all of the stuff that I'm telling you, it has ingredients or it has ritual procedures that are related to the moon. Many of the people I know that will do these rituals, they don't have access to astrological calendars and so on. So I'm going to tell you a very easy method by which you can find out which is the best time to do it. So the night, in general, the night is the best time that you can do any of these rituals. If you want to keep it simple or you get confused, stick to midnight according to the Western clock, right? But if you want to know when is midnight, like perfectly when is midnight according to the astrological calendar, an easy way to do it is to step outside when it's midnight, or look out, maybe from a very big window, look out and face southeast. If you can download a compass app on your phone, face southeast. And if you look straight ahead at the horizon, you should not be able to see the moon on your peripheral vision, like above, just above your eyes. If the moon is directly over your head, then that means that it's in the constellation of, well, I don't know the English name. The Sanskrit name for that constellation is Rohini, right? Rohini Nakshatra. So if the moon is in the constellation of Rohini, that means that it is exactly midnight, and that is when it's most powerful to do this. If you can't wait until midnight, or you just want to follow the Western clock calendar, you can do that. But if you can't wait for that, for midnight, you can do it at any time of the night. By doing this, you can remove a lot of negativity and negative energy from your home. If you suffer from depression at this time, you can do this a similar ritual where you hold salt in your hand and then charge the salt with your intention of removing negative energies, and soak your feet in water mixed with that salt. You can also flush that water down the toilet after you've done. Food charity during this time, any charity of food, as particularly milk and any white grains like rice, oats, and so on, but any type of charity uh, of food, cooked or uncooked, brings all round good fortune. If you're having a problem attracting the right partner to you, you're having a lot of romance problems, you have a problem maybe attracting the right kind of friends, or you tend to attract people with very negative energy, particularly if you know that you are negative inside but you can't really get rid of that. At this time, particularly around the full moon time, if you are very strong in your constitution and you do not suffer from depression, that is when you should do this. You can step outside into the light of the full moon, closing your eyes, and then concentrate on you, and you need to see yourself as sort of similar to like the moon and everybody else as stars around you. The Tantra speaks of meditating on the space between the stars. The space between the stars is seen as symbolic of ether. The element of ether exists everywhere, and it provides a communication method between you and other people. All right, the next thing is, if you are having a problem with conception, you have tried conceiving numerous times and you're unable to mother or father your own child. Then during this time of the full moon, when the moon is full and it is shining outside and it is quite late, if it is possible, try to conceive directly under the light of the full moon. Okay, so this might sound strange, but this is Tantra. Obviously, you need to be aware of the local laws. You need to uh, take care of public nudity and so on. But I'm sharing with you what I've known, what I've established, and as a clairvoyant that has been in this field for some time now, I'm also telling you stuff that I know works, and it's not just book knowledge or theory. Alright, so you're not going to find this knowledge elsewhere, so remember to subscribe and to share with other people as well. If you know that you suffer from some type of psychosis, or you have a family member that is suffering with some psychological disorder, during this time, I mean, even a large body of water like the sea gets agitated under the full moon. So, what to speak of us, made of 80% water? It's not unusual for people to suffer urine retention and imbalances of water in the body. It's important to keep the head covered during this time, because certain types of energies or spirits or whatever you call them do become a little more active during this time. So the combined effect of the disorder, as well as the water imbalance, water rising up in the body, maybe blood pressure disorders, and the effect of a lot of energies, a lot of spirits moving about, it can affect the person negatively. So make sure that during this time you keep the head of the person covered, or if you know that you are very easily affected by energies, make sure that you keep your head covered if you have to step out at night during this time. So it could be as simple as wearing a cap or a shawl around your head, if it's practical for you. For those of you that have followed my my eclipse magic for wealth, I've given you a wealth procedure that's very, very powerful as well. You can take a stick of incense, this time light the tip, wave it to blow it off, and then rotate it around the bundle that I mentioned in that video. You can check out my other videos on the eclipse magic, magic for wealth. So imagine that this is the bundle. Remember, I said don't keep moving it. So imagine that this is placed where your money is placed. You would take the stick of incense and then rotate it around so that the smoke goes around the incense, and then recite the same mantra that I gave in that video. When you're reciting the mantra, remember to rotate the incense an odd number of times. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and so on, concentrating on bringing wealth to you. When you rotate the incense needs to move away from you, around the top, and then back down towards you. So almost like you are smudging. Alright, so that is for those of you that have done the eclipse magic for wealth that I mentioned earlier. If you have financial crisis during this time, or if you know that you have a tendency to go into debt very, very easily, my suggestion is that you would avoid taking out any new debts during this time. This reason being is because debts that are incurred during this time, they have a tendency of sticking with you for a very, very long time and becomes very difficult to pay it off. So as far as possible, avoid taking debt during this time. Of course, the laws of common sense would apply. Now, I know many people are not fully aware of the effect of the moon on their birth chart. So for those of you that stayed until the end, this is your bonus. If you do not have access to a very good astrologer, during the time of the autumn equinox and the coming full moon in the next month, you can judge the effect of the moon in the following ways. If you have any pet and you find that your pet is getting sick, dies, or tries to run away during this time, you can assume that this is one of the signs. For those of you that understand Vedic astrology, this is referred to as Sanket. Right? You can understand that this is a sign that the moon is not giving the best energies that it can to you according to your astrological sign. Not according to your astrological sign, according to your astrological chart specifically for your date of birth. If you live alone, it's easier to measure the next sign. If you find that your pipes start leaking during this time, or that there's water leakages in your house, then that's another sign that the moon is not auspiciously placed. So in the past, it was not pipes, it was like water pots or whatever vessel you use to keep your water in. If you have like a private bathroom that you use, then you can assume that it's for you. If you live with family and you're sharing like the home, then it might, and sharing personal space, then it might be a bit more difficult to review this. A simpler procedure would also be to take some milk in a cow's milk. It must be cow's milk, like dairy milk, not vegan milk or any other kind of milk. It must be 100% cow's milk. If you keep a little glass of this next to you, like, and you keep touching the glass with your hands, you can measure it and put it in, and then the next morning, after you've kept this by your next to your bed, if you see that the milk has curdled and completely separated, that's also another sign that the moon is not as auspicious for you as maybe it is for other people born at other times. So this is not dependent on your astrological sign, this is dependent on your personal birth chart. This might sound a bit strange, but remember that these are metaphysical practices. The way that the planets affect you is by changing the vibration that you are letting out from your chakras, from your energy systems, that's causing different things to manifest. It overrides that, or sort of like acts as an antenna that changes the way that you think and behave. So obviously your body is letting out these energies and it does correspond. Alright, so for those of you that haven't followed me or subscribed to me yet, you're welcome to subscribe both on my YouTube and on Facebook. You can search for me on Facebook and you can catch up with some readings. Recently, I've become very, very busy with my private clairvoyant work. So for those of you that are following me on Facebook, you're welcome to follow me here on YouTube as well, and share this with as many people as you like. Alright, so I will also be doing the astrology for the Kal Chakra astrology that I mentioned earlier. So the way that you access that astrology, every week the sign will change for you, and this is for free, right? So you can go onto my website, which is psychicrecords.org. The link is in the description box below. Click on desktop view if you are viewing it on mobile, and then go all the way to the bottom. You'll see that there's a slideshow that is playing. Screen grab it, and whichever letter you get, keep that letter in mind or keep that screenshot, and then I will give the interpretation of that. In the past, the way that was done was that a dice was rolled, or the person closed their eyes and put their finger on a letter, or there was a clay pot, and the clay pot was had like a whole lot of rituals that were done, and the person put their hand in and selected one paper. But we have to adapt it a little bit because this is online, so this is the way that I've done it. So you're welcome to check that out, and I will give you the interpretation of that very, very soon, and hopefully I'll be doing this every 2 weeks. So help me grow my YouTube channel, and I'll be bringing more videos to you as this grows. Alright, until next time, bye bye.